everybody, it's me, Steve Schnee, and you are watching the CD Junkie. And boy, do I have an album to discuss, to talk about with you today. And the album is by Tears for Fears. Did you know that their most overlooked album is actually a pop masterpiece? An album that will just appeal to fans of XTC and Jellyfish and ELO and 10cc. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about Tears for Fears, that very same band, but I'm not going to tell you what the album is yet. Could it be that I'm talking about the album The Hurting? No, I'm not talking about The Hurting. Oh, but boy, it's a great album, great debut album. Could it be that I'm talking about Tears for Fears, Songs from the Big Chair? No, I'm not. But oh my God, that's a great, great album. Could I be talking about The Seeds of Love? No, I'm not. And that's a pretty good album. But we'll get back to something about that in just a second. After that album, the band split up, and of course, Roland Orzabal continued with Tears for Fears. Is it the album Elemental? No, it's a good album, but that's not the album I'm talking about. Am I talking about the album Raúl and the Kings of Spain? No, I'm not, but it's a really good album. You should definitely check that out. Could I be talking about this compilation album called Saturnine, Marshall, and Lunatic? Well, I'm not talking about it, but it's still a great little compilation of B-sides and stuff like that. No, the album that I'm talking about, before I tell you what I'm talking about, just let me give you just a brief little history here. This album here that I just talked about a little while ago, The Seeds of Love. Everybody knows that. The first single off this album was Sowing the Seeds of Love. Sgt. Pepper inspired this big Beatles opus, and it built and it had all these wonderful parts and so many layers, and it filled you with ooey gooey love for classic 60s pop and psychedelia and power pop and everything all combined. It was epic. It was pomp rock. It was power. It was everything. It was so epic. But it didn't kind of fit on this album because the rest of the album was very well thought out and written pop, but it wasn't as catchy as that. You know, sure, Advice for the Young at Heart and Woman in Chains. A Woman in Chains is, oh my God, it's incredible. But Sowing the Seeds of Love was like they recorded this song and then they go, yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's record different styles of music and not continue with that sound. Well, the album that I'm going to talk about right now is Everybody Loves a Happy Ending from 2004. Do you know that album? Have you heard that album? This was their first reunion album because Roland Orzabal and Kurt Smith had split after this. And like I said, Roland had continued the sound of Tears for Fears, where Kurt Smith went solo. And then Kurt Smith also put out just a great guitar pop album called Mayfield. Actually, he recorded under the name Mayfield, as in Kurt is Mayfield, Curtis Mayfield. But that is, it was closer to Sowing the Seeds of Love than anything else that he'd been involved with. Well, when Tears for Fears got back together, they recorded this album. I think they spent a couple years, like 2001 to 2004, recording this, and it is absolutely stellar. You know that single, Sowing the Seeds of Love, the one I just told you about, the one that you already know because it's so epic and bombastic and Beatly and ELO-y and 10cc and Jellyfishy. This is a whole album of that. Sowing the Seeds of Love actually sounds like it would have fit snugly, perfectly, and made out with every other song on this album. It is so epic, so wonderful and embracing. And it's a stellar album. Now, the last couple of albums they put out, like Tipping Point and stuff like that, those are just kind of going back to a modern version of the old Tears for Fears sound. They're not continuing with this. This album didn't do that well. I mean, after this album came out in 2004, it took them another, 15, 18 years before they put out Tipping Point. But this was so overlooked. I cannot believe it. But again, it wasn't Tears for Fears that people wanted. Everybody wanted to hear Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Shout, songs like that, Pale Shelter. Everybody wanted to hear that kind of stuff. But here they gave us an album full of Sowing the Seeds of Love, the song. It's just, every song is incredible and epic. The songs have a lot of emotional depth, but they're also layered so much that you can pull away the layers with each listen and hear something new and exciting. I don't want to compare it to Sgt. Pepper, Abbey Road, and stuff like that, or the first Jellyfish album, or anything 10cc, but compare it to all that kind of stuff. Compare it to just a big, overblown, wonderful XTC's Apple Venus, that period, how that was pastoral, and oh my God, it's just so hard to talk about it. I gotta slow my heart down a little bit here, because this is so epic, so fantastic. But don't take my word for it. I have put together a 3-minute medley featuring bits and bobs of this album that will hopefully make you go, holy crap, I can't believe I'm... This album is 21 years old. This album is old enough to drink. This album is old enough to go on a date. This album is, it is so epic and fantastic. I want you to hear this medley that I put together just to show you what a fantastic album. Everybody loves a happy ending. Now, I love the fact that they're still going. They're still making music, that they are friends again. They're getting along. But I wish that this album had captured the attention of people, because, it's just so epic. So, here is a medley of songs from Everybody Loves a Happy Ending by Tears for Fears. Sit back, relax, give this a listen, and I will see you on the other side.
Wake up, you've had an operation. Ideas above your station, too much reality. Think about the wasted time spending, watching Mother Nature's being spending. Everybody loves a happy ending, but then she knows it's like a curse to find a chosen rose reversed, to unify my universe, to call me mellow. And when we're crossed, we can say that we're lost in the middle of nowhere, thinking like it or not. And if we're wrong and we end up alone, we'll light a candle for their innocent bones. Sinking a line without a trace, with elegant rhymes against the stage. Killing with kindness, making the most of the mess. So you might wanna try this, just killing with kindness, Look the world right in the eye. Eat the countries that are making billions. Sweet as homemade apple pie. Save our crumbs for all the starving millions. Hopes and strength to heaven. How do you do it? And when you think it's all over, it's not over. It's not over. When you think it's all over, it's not over. It's not over. When you think it's all over, it's not over.
That's it. I hope that I have inspired you to check out the album Everybody Loves a Happy Ending by Tears for Fears. Really appreciate you. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, to ring that bell for future notifications. And until the next time, remember me. I'm Steve Schnee, the CD Junkie.